So for this question, we have y is equal to 3x to the power 4 plus x, all raised to the power 5, and we need to differentiate it. Now, you could expand all the brackets out, which will give you all the values of x, and then you can just differentiate them individually, but that will take a very long time. So is there another way to do it? Yes, there is. It is called the chain rule, and that is what we'll be going over in today's video. So with this question, what can we do? Well, what we can do first is we can let u equal 3x to the power 4 plus x, okay? So whatever's inside the brackets, we can let u equal that, okay? And now once we've done that, we can write now a new expression for y. So now y is equal to u to the power of 5, okay? And we can differentiate this now. If we differentiate this expression now, we differentiate with respect to u, we get dy over du is equal to 5 u to the power of 4, okay? And we can do the same thing with that u expression, okay? Where we have u is equal to 3x to the power of 4 plus x, we can differentiate u now with respect to x. And if you were to do that, you would get du over dx, that would be equal to 12x to the power of 3 plus 1, okay? But in our original question, we want to differentiate y with respect to x. So really what we want is we want something in the form of dy over dx. But at the moment, we only have dy over du and du over dx. But if I just write this out, if I write dy over du and we times that by du over dx, as you can see, if you have dy over du times by du over dx, the du's just cancel out and you're just left with dy over dx. So really, if we've got dy over du and we've got du over dx, we can just times them together and that will give us our dy over dx, which is what we want. So if I scroll up now, if we just do that, therefore, what do we have? Well, we would have that, we'd have dy over dx, that would equal 5u to the power 4 times by 12x to the power 3 plus 1. Okay, so that's dy over dx. And now all we need to do is substitute back in our original expression for whatever u was, okay? So in this case, if we scroll up, u was 3x to the power 4 plus x. Therefore, if I write this here, that would just be 5 3x to the power of 4 plus x, and that'll be all raised to the power of 4, and then another bracket, which would be the 12x to the power of 3 plus 1, okay? And that would be your answer. So for our next question, we have sine to the power of 4x, okay? So how do we solve this question? Well, again, we can use substitution. So what we can do is we can let u equal sine x, okay? And then we can differentiate that, okay? So if we differentiate that, that would be du over dx is equal to cos of x. We know that sine x just differentiates to cos of x. And over here we have that y now is equal to u to the power of 4. So if we're to differentiate that with respect to u, that would be dy over du is equal to 4u to the power of 3. And then we need to times them together. So we should do dy over du times by du over dx. So that would just be, write that here, that would be dy over dx is equal to 4u to the power of 3 all times by cos x, okay? And if we just write back in what our values for u was, therefore we get 4 sine cubed x cos x, okay? And that will be the answer. Okay, so now we're going to try a bit more of a challenging question, okay? We have the curve C has equation y is equal to 5 minus 2x all cubed, and we need to find the tangent of the curve at the point P with x coordinate 1. So again, this is a tangent question. So whenever we have a question like this, we need to know our x value our y value, and our m value. Okay, we need to work out those three values. And if we can work out those three values, we can put that into the equation of a straight line and we can get the equation. Okay, so first things first. Well, we know that our x value is 1 because they tell us that in the question. So first things first, let's work out our y value, okay? Now y value is very simple. Just substitute x into the equation for y, and that'll give us our y value. In this case, if we have y is equal to 5 minus 2x, and that is all cubed, well then, if we put 1 into that, that will just be 5 minus 2 times 1. And that is all cubed, which would give me a 5 minus 2, which is 3, and then that is all cubed. That would give me a 27, okay? So we know that y is equal to 27. Now we need to work out m. Well, how do we work out m? Well, we know that to work out the gradient of something, we just need to differentiate and put in our value of x, and that will give us our gradient, okay? So we need to differentiate this. So if we have 5 minus 2x to the power of 3, we need to differentiate that. We can use the chain rule, okay? So if we do that, then let's make u equal 5 minus 2x. And if we differentiate that, we would get du over dx is equal to minus 2. And then that also means that we have y. Y is equal to u to the power of 3. And if we differentiate that with respect to u, then we get 3u squared. So since we know that dy over dx is equal to dy over du times by du over dx, therefore we can apply this to our question here. So we can do dy over du, which in this case is 3u squared, and we can times that by du over dx, which is minus 2, which gives us a minus 6u squared. And then if we rewrite that, we would get a minus 6, and then what was u? U was 5 minus 2x squared, okay? So that therefore dy over dx equals minus 6 times 5 minus 2x all squared. And now we can plug in our value of x. In this case, x was 1, so I'm going to plug that in. I'm just going to scroll up. So if we do that, therefore, what do we get? Well, we get a minus 6, 5 minus 2 times 1, and that is all squared. So therefore, we get a minus 6, we get a 3 in here, which is squared, and then we would get a minus 6 times a 9, which gives us a minus 54. So what does that tell us? That tells us that, if we scroll up here, m would be a minus 54. So now we've worked out our x value, our y value, and m value. We can now put that into the equation of a straight line. So we know that the equation of the straight line is y take away y1 is equal to m, and then in brackets x take away x1. So if we do that for this question, we get y minus 27 is equal to minus 54 x minus 1, okay? That will give us y minus 27 is equal to minus 54x plus 54. And then simply now, if we write our answer, we would get y is equal to minus 54x plus 81, okay? And that would be the tangent at the curve C, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. In our next video, we'll be going over the product rule, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you soon.